Now, we just got some news today that Thug Rose is going to be returning to the UFC, and I, for one, am incredibly excited about these events. As we know, in her last fight, it wasn't the best performances of Thug Rose's career, which was a damn shame that it was so bad, because she has provided some of the most memorable moments in women's MMA history. Even in the prior fight before that against Zhang Wei Li, she did an incredible head kick knockout, and that was one of the best moments of the year, right? And she's done that several times throughout her career. At UFC 223, she did it against Joanna, and no one expected her to win that fight. So usually I do love seeing Rose fight. It's just unfortunate that her last fight was so terrible that it's overshadowed a lot of the other fantastic performances that she's had throughout her career. And I think that's because she's needed the Combat Training Essentials ebook. I made this free ebook for everyone called The Art of Nutrition and Injury Prevention. Feel free to check it out in the description below. Now, Thug Rose is usually a strawweight fighter, as we all know, but she is coming up in weight. She's going to be moving up to the flyweight division, and she'll be facing Manon Fiorot. So I'm really happy to see her return. Hopefully this time around, Thug Rose can put on a bit of a better performance and just show how skilled she is. She has competed in the ADCC recently, a few grappling tournaments, so she's been keeping her eye in, but I am incredibly happy to see her back in the UFC, at least for another fight, and let's see where she can actually take it. She's 30 years old, so she is still young. She does still have a bright future ahead of her if she does choose to pursue the UFC seriously again, and it looks like that might be the case in this return fight for her. It remains to be seen how she's going to go within this contest, because she has been fighting at strawweight her entire career, so who knows if the girls at the higher weight classes will be a bit too much for her to handle, but time will actually tell. She is very skilled, so I do have high hopes that she will do very well in this division, and women's MMA doesn't really look that exciting to me at this present time. As we know, Amanda Nunes retired only a few weeks ago, which left a big hole in women's MMA. She was an absolute star. The women's divisions, there's not really a lot going on right now that's particularly exciting. Hopefully Rose can come back and implement some excitement to win the women's divisions. Now, it's very disappointing to me that women's MMA hasn't gotten to the level that I was hoping for it. Some of the women's fighters are definitely talented, so that's definitely not what I'm saying here. But I think one of the reasons for this is, if you go into an MMA gym, if you're a woman, it's incredibly hard from the beginning, because even if you're incredibly skilled, you're facing bigger, stronger men, and that is just a massive disadvantage, and it can be really disheartening for girls to be training in mixed martial arts, developing all this fantastic technique, and still getting smashed day after day after day. So I think that could potentially be one of the reasons why, women's MMA hasn't really taken off the way I was hoping that it would have, but there has been some big women's MMA stars that have retired recently, so I think within the next few years, we're just going to see things gradually pick up again, and hopefully women's MMA can represent the sport incredibly well moving forward, but at the moment, nothing really gets me excited, which is incredibly unfortunate. But that's all from me today. Thug Rose is back, and if you guys do like this sort of content, please feel free to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you all later. Take care.